Guys, welcome back. It's Fezzy here from P4C. If you are new to my channel, we do Pokemon cards opening as well as these type of videos, educational videos, where we are giving you guys some updated infos and steps on how to submit your cards to PSA. Now, we previously did a video on how to submit your cards to PSA in 5 steps. Now, if you have missed that video, make sure you catch it from the drop down from the top. As well, I would include a description link down below. In this video, not only are we going to give you some updated information and steps on how to submit your cards to PSA, as well as some frequently asked questions we will answer in this particular video as well. Now, before we move on to the info, we are doing a Christmas raffle where we are raffling off 10 and potentially 12 PSA graded cards. So if you want a chance to win those, make sure you register. Now, I will put the information down in the description below as well from the drop down link from the top in terms of our announcement video. One last thing before we go into those updated info is that, guys, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and then after you subscribe, easy, make sure you hit the bell for the latest videos and updates. All right, without further ado, let's roll into some updated info, steps, and FAQ for your PSA submission. All right, update number 1, I guess. Not sure if a lot of you guys have noticed, but there are some changes in terms of the pricing for PSA. And what has happened is that due to the increased amount and the huge backlog that PSA is currently having at the moment, you can see on screen that the economy services, which means that $20 per card with the maximum declared value of $499, is no longer or not available at the moment. So for single cards, if you want to submit to PSA, the minimum you would have to spend is $50, which has a 25 business day turnaround with a $999 maximum declared value. Alright, update number 2 is regards to the PSA Collector's Cup. As you can see on screen right now, the Gold and the Platinum membership is at the moment no longer available since we last rolled out our PSA submission tutorial. You can see in the bottom that you can still join a Silver membership for value pricing, which is bulk submission and quarterly grading special. And to join the Silver membership, as you can see here, for 1 year, if you're living in US, it costs you $59, and if you are an international viewer, it will cost you $79. So that's $79 for anyone who is outside of USA. Alright, update number 3 is turnaround time. So no surprise here given the backlog of cards that are currently at PSA at the moment. Some of the turnaround time for some of the services has been extended. Now you can see on screen here, these are my orders at PSA at the moment, and just wanted to give you guys some idea around turnaround time for an express service. So I submitted these, and the cards, the 4 cards, if you don't remember, they're the 4 Charizard cards, arrived at PSA on the 16th of October, and they were entered into the system 10 days later, the 26th of October. And once it actually got entered, given that it is an express service should only take anywhere from 5 to 10 days. It got shipped back to me on the 5th of November, which was relatively quick. And so that's the kind of turnaround time you should expect from an express service. But as you can see from some of my other submission as well, they are some of them have not even been entered into the system as yet. So my advice to everyone in terms of submitting cards at the moment, do manage your own expectation. If you are doing in particular bulk submission, do not expect your cards to be back in the next 3 to 4 months or even 5 to 6 months. Alright, update number 4 is the way that you would package your cards when it comes to sending it to PSA. Now, in the past, PSA required you to mark on the outside of the box the type of submission that you are sending in. Right now, as an updated version, that PSA requires you to print labels and then stick it on outside of the box. Now, what happens when you are combining two different types of submission together? So as you can see here, when you go back to your online submission center dashboard, it allows you to click on both packages, and then you would generate a new package label. And once you generated this new package label, you would simply just print it out, and then this would be the label that you would stick on the outside of the box. Alright guys, so the number one question or the number one agenda from our previous PSA submission tutorial video was around declared values. So I thought I will jump on PSA website and show you guys the definition of declared value. And also the second question, which most of you ask, is what happened if your item has a higher declared value than the service that you have chosen. So by definition, PSA have stated that the declared value is your estimate of the value of the item after it has been assigned a grade by PSA. In simple terms, let's say you're submitting a card, and this particular card you think almost certain that it would be a PSA 10 Gem Mint. The declared value for this particular card would equal to the PSA 10 value of this card. Now, how you can find out what the PSA graded card's worth? Simply, you can use websites like cardmalvin.io or pokemonprice.com to find out these prices. Now, the second most frequently asked question from our previous video was what happens if my declared value is understated? Now, PSA actually comes and answer this, but I haven't personally experienced it myself. But what happens is that, let's say the declared value of the services you chosen was $199, and the card that you have submitted actually worth way more than that, and let's say it worth $999. What actually happened, as stated by PSA, is that PSA will adjust the pricing or the service price that you have chosen, which most likely mean that they will increase the cost for the grading for that particular card that have been undervalued. Where does this happen the most? This actually happened most in 1 to 2 different scenario and situation. Number one is that when you are submitting a card, you actually think that the card was only a PSA 8 or PSA 9, but it actually came back a PSA 10. As we know, PSA 10 cards are in various different categories, whether it's sports, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh. PSA 10 is obviously more expensive in terms of value. This is where you may have undervalued your card. The second item is that which a lot of people do, and again, it's a bit of touch and go from my personal experience, I might be wrong, is when people just want to do a bulk submission and they disregard the value of the card. Now, I know people who has done this, where when the PSA returned, they have been back charged. Again, this means that PSA have charged them extra for certain cards. For myself, I had not experienced this as yet, so it is totally up to you. But think of declared value in another way is the sort of an insurance for your card as well, because if anything happens to your card, whether at PSA or on the way back from PSA, the declared value will determine how much PSA would reimburse back to you in terms of the card gone damaged, missing, or destroyed. Alright, frequently asked question number 2 is around shipping. Now, if you're located in the US, you of course can use USPS, which is the United States Postal Service, or you can use FedEx as well. But my understanding for international card submitters like myself, we only have one choice, and that one particular choice is FedEx. All right, frequently asked question number 3 is regarding to whether or not you can use top loaders or hard cases for your PSA submission. Now, in September, there was a big shortage of card savers or semi-rigid sleeves due to the huge demand or huge increase of submission to PSA. Now, the PSA published an article saying that they were accepting top loaders. However, I'm not 100% sure if this is still the case. From my personal experience, I still think using semi-rigid sleeve is probably the best. As you can see, I've got one right here. As one of the tips that we gave out last time is to cut open the semi-rigid sleeve on the side. This is a tip that was given by King Pokemon Gary himself, where once you open on the side, you can just simply slide the card in, making it very easy to put in the sleeve as well. Very easy for the graders to take the card out just like that. Now, if you are going to use top loaders, I would highly suggest you also put a tab. As you can see here, these are just ordinary tabs, office tabs that you can get from stationery store, because without the tab, as you can see here, putting it into a top loader, it could, especially if it goes that deep, it may be very hard for the graders to get the card out. So with the tab, they can simply slide it out like this. At the end of the day, my advice is that you do not want the graders to damage your cards in the process of grading. Now, these graders will make sure they do their due diligence as well in terms of looking after your cards, but sometimes if it's hard or difficult, accident can occur. So we try to minimize risk. So my suggestion, if you can, get your hands on semi-rigid sleeves like these card saver ones or Ultra Pros that are available. All right, most frequently asked question number 4 is a very quick one. Now, a lot of people ask me whether or not they can use these ETB sleeves. My answer to you is you can, but don't expect it to return to you. Now, also with the ETB sleeves as well, as they are slightly bigger, so when it comes to and if you're going to use a top loader, it might be very difficult again to get your cards out. As you can see, I'm already struggling to take my cards out without the tab. Alright guys, there you have it, some updated steps as well as some frequently asked question and answered during our video with regards to PSA card submission. So I hope it helps. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, or rather found this video very helpful in terms of your PSA submission, make sure you give us a like. And then after you give us a like, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and then obviously hit the bell for the latest videos and updates. So as we mentioned, the Christmas raffle is happening, so if you want a chance to win a PSA graded cards, make sure you register. All right, until next time, may the God of pools be with you always.